I told the police that my uncle had did something to me, and everybody in the house completely ignored me, and my grandma tried to run me over. Me and my grandma were very close ever since I was a little girl, but one day she just switched up on me. Like, she just didn't like me anymore. I never knew why. I told my friends what was happening to me when I was a kid and when I was in middle school, and they told the school. And when they told the school calls me up and they're like, okay, well, did this happen to you? At first, I hesitated because I didn't want to tell them what happened. I told them, yes, that did happen to me. What is going to happen now? So the police are questioning me. The police go to my mom's house and they tell her, without telling her anything, your daughter's in trouble. We need you to come to the school. My mom says, okay, fine, I'll go to the school. She comes to the school and she sees me and she's like, okay, so what happened? I don't see that you're hurt. Nothing's wrong. What happened? Tell my mom what her brother did to me. This is the youngest brother, and my mom looked at me with so much anger in her face, like, why would you put us in this situation again? Police officer looked at my mom and was like, why are you looking at your daughter like you want to smack her? And she was like, I'm not, you don't know the relationship between me and my daughter. At that point, I knew I was in big trouble. Sorry, like, my mom, she was already mad as hell at me, and I remember I asked her, can I just get on the bus to go home by myself instead of riding in the car with her? She said, fine, I don't care. I get in the house, grandma comes over and was telling me to get into the bathroom. I said, fine, I get in the bathroom, and she brings has to open the door, and she's like telling me to stand in front of the door so she can push this through my body. I start screaming and crying, and they finally get her. Everybody in the house told me they would never talk to me. So for days after that, they did not talk to me. Like, brother and sister didn't talk to me because they didn't know any better. My mom didn't talk to me. She said it was my fault. She said, I'm doing the family again. Favorite uncle, he did not talk to me. Ignored me day in and day out for at least a good 6 months. And every time that I would cook like his favorite meals because I really wanted him to talk to me. And I would get notes and I would like write little cute messages and I would put the food in front of his door, and he would eat it and still wouldn't talk to me. Even would leave me in the house to go shopping or to go over to my grandma's house for days and never come back, and I would have to feed myself. And outside with my mom, and I told her, like, I just wish everybody would stop acting like it's just all my fault. Like, he did this to me. She was like, well, you should have never said anything. And me and her are arguing kind of in the street. And my grandma, like, she was coming up the street and I did not see her. And my mom saw the car picked up speed. My mom was like, get out of the road before you get hurt. Get out of the road. But she saw that my grandma picked up speed. And she told me to hold on. To pick up, I guess, like this wrapper that didn't even belong to us. She was like, pick it up because you don't want to litter on the ground. Mom kept me out of school for 2 weeks. Another kid that was walking from my bus stop at the time, I saw what was about to happen, and he ran at me and he pushed me out the way, and my grandma just kept going. She was going straight, but she had to turn this way, and her car like really jerked this way, like it went woo. I looked at my mom, I'm like, did you see her car coming? And she was like, yeah, but I honestly didn't think your grandma was gonna hit you. I thought she was just gonna stop and just get out of the car and yell at you and maybe smack you in the face a couple of times and then just go home. It literally broke me because I'm like, as my mom, you gonna let your mom damn near kill me and you're not gonna do anything about it. Cared about me. Everybody left me. I was alone on Christmas, my favorite holiday of the year. I was alone on New Year's. My birthday came around, my 15th. My grandma canceled it. She kept the dress that I picked out too, and she still has it to this day. Like, she doesn't want to give it back to me because she paid for it. Okay, like, I was alone on my birthday. Like, after that year, nobody ever celebrated my birthday again. I didn't really get anything from anybody. My grandma, she did send me a letter, and she did tell me, like, you know, when you die, which I hope you die young, I'm gonna stomp and spit on your grave. I said, okay. Hopefully I don't end it myself, you know. But yeah. So that's what happened. You got one time as a man to say my daughter has a nice body, or my daughter is gonna break a lot of hearts, or any stupid misogynistic thing to my daughter before I literally chop you in your throat and go to jail. Because I'm not playing that. I'm not playing that game. Like, I'm not playing no game like my mom and my aunt and all them used to play, where, like, they would let men say whatever they wanted to me. And it was like, did you not just hear what that grown-ass man said to me as a child? Like, are your ears not open? Are you slow? Did you just overlook it? Did you not care? Did you think that that comment was okay to say to a child? A man has one time to play with me before I go to jail. Because I will go to jail behind my kids. I don't care. I don't have kids right now. But I would go to jail behind my kids because I see too many men, even when I was in elementary school, middle school, high school, would literally say the most oddest things to children and nobody batting an eye. But me, oh yeah, I'm gonna bat you right in your eye. I will go to jail for doing you the worst way. Like, I don't care what it is, because it's like a lot of men have the audacity to talk the way they talk and think that no one's gonna say nothing to them until you do. And then now they're embarrassed and now they get mad and now they try to downplay, like, oh, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Like, I've seen videos of, and I know we've all seen them, of teachers holding students who were females in a very romantic way. And a lot of people didn't bat an eye. A lot of people be thinking like, oh, no, it's not that. You just been through some trauma. You've been through some things. No, I'm aware. Very aware. Like, a lot of the things I've been through made me aware today to the point where I would never let someone play like that in my face around my kids or anybody else's kids.
If you think sexual assault doesn't affect your life, you're wrong. It's time for you to know the survivors in your life, to hear their stories and to know that their voice matters.
You ever got punched in the face so hard that you kind of like stumble back and your eyes kind of start to see stars? I remember my mom had hit me so hard this day because I did get in trouble, but I didn't get in trouble for just nothing. I got in trouble because I was defending somebody at school. It was a kid that had a disability that was getting bullied by a senior, and I got in trouble for it. Because they said no matter what happened, you should have never have started a fight with that girl. And I'm just like, excuse me, she was bullying somebody, and somebody you guys are supposed to be protecting, but they got me in trouble and they called my mom, and my mom was like, wait until you get home. I was expecting my mom to be at work, so when I walked through the back door, because I was talking to my uncle's girlfriend at the time because she was like in the computer room, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So then all of a sudden, I don't hear or see my mom. I'm like, and I asked her, I'm like, oh, where's my mom at? She was like, oh, she's not here. I'm expecting her not to be here. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I put my book back down. I turned around. My mom had like these hard wolf rings on her fingers. And she punched me so hard in my jaw that I stumbled back. I couldn't catch myself. And I kind of started to see stars and my head started to go all woozy. And then she punches me again in the face. And she was like, what did you do at school? Because I'm getting tired of getting calls from school. If you call my mama twice from school and it could be like 3 months apart, she says, I'm getting tired of getting calls from school. I'm like, you only got called twice out of 3 months and you really overreacting like this? So not only that, whenever my mom had punched me in the face twice, she jumped on me and she started slapping me in my face. My mom loved to slap me in my face. I don't know why, but she just loved to do it. And if I try to cover myself, she would literally like grab my hands, sit on them, and just keep smacking me like this until she felt like she was done. So I told her, she was like, and she busted my lip right here because my tooth kind of like bit onto my lip, and I was just like, what the hell is your problem? So she gets off of me and she lets me explain, and she was like, okay, so what happened? Every time I try to explain to her what happened, she smacked me in my face again, and I wasn't even prepared for it because I'm telling you, I was literally so dizzy that I could not understand what she was talking about. Like, I was incoherent. And I told her, I'm like, Ma, I was literally sitting in front of my classroom. I was waiting to get into the class because the teacher was running late anyways. I'm like, this girl that was a senior, she was bullying a disabled kid, and I did not like that. So I told her, can she please stop, because it's not fair that you can bully them and nobody can defend them. Now she was getting physical with the kid. I was like, you know what, I did not like that. I pulled her hair to get her attention because she wasn't even looking at me every time I told her to stop, because she was a little bit taller than me. And my mom was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I was like, Ma, I literally was trying to help another kid because this girl was not stopping. And she was one of the popular girls that everybody was kind of like, oh, don't mess with her because, you know, she has a lot of friends. I did not care. You're not going to bully nobody in front of me. So I was telling my mom this, and I told her, I'm like, when she kicked the kid, nobody else that's standing there is doing anything about it. So I jumped on her. I pulled her hair away from this dude, and then me and her just start tussling. So the principal comes and gets us, and they bring me up to the office, and they're like, you know, we're tired of talking to you. I'm like, I'm tired of y'all school bullying kids and then nobody's doing nothing about it. That's what I'm tired of. So my mom had told me, she was, and this is what she said that pissed me off. She was like, that's not your problem. That's the parents' problem. That's the school's problem. That's not your problem. Why do you always feel like you have to go and defend somebody? And I'm like, I probably did have that issue where I felt like I always had to defend everybody that was in trouble because nobody defended me as a kid. So I told my mom, I'm like, you would rather me sit here and let this kid get bullied that cannot defend themselves instead of sticking up for them. And you know what's crazy? When I was little, she told me, if I ever catch you doing that, bullying somebody, you're getting in trouble. If I ever catch you allowing somebody to get bullied, you're getting in trouble. So now I do exactly what you tell me. I defend somebody, and you start jumping on me and hitting me like a crazy person. She heard her phone and she walked away from me, and she went down the hallway to get her phone, and she was like, oh, hello. And it was a school, and I knew it was a school, by the way, that she switched up her fake ass voice. So then the school calls her back and they tell her I'm suspended. And then she was like, oh, okay, thank you very much. I'm talking to my uncle's girlfriend, which is like a longtime family friend. And she was like, so why did you do it? And I'm telling her, Would you just stand there and let somebody get bullied like that and not do anything about it? All of a sudden, my mom comes and punches me right here. That literally makes me stumble again. And I think at this point, I was just done and tired. I try to go to my room. So me and her are like literally kind of fighting each other to get to my room because she's trying to pull my hair and everything like that. She pulled this part of my hair so hard that I had a big knot in my head because of how hard she was pulling it to get me away from my door. I was like, damn, okay. But then after that, like, I went to my room and I cried and I was upset. And my mom kind of just was like, you know what, this is your fault. If you would stop just trying to be Captain Savo, that's exactly what she said, you wouldn't get in trouble and I wouldn't have to do these things. But because you're not going to be one of these kids that run around here doing whatever you want to do. I'm like, I don't run around here do whatever I want to do. I'm always at the house taking care of my brother and my sister. Are you serious right now? But yeah.